Goldfields in South Africa has been given the go-ahead for a solar project after more than 3.5 years. Goldfields plans to build a 40-megawatt solar plant for its South Deep mine in Johannesburg. To tell us more about this, I'm joined by Martin Preece, Executive Vice President of Goldfields SA. Martin, thanks very much for your time. So the application process started more than 3 years ago, but NERSA only got the application in June last year. What's been behind the many delays?
I think, Anlie, we didn't embark on this project using a third party initially, and there were certain things I think weren't clear to us and the third party. I think as regulations became clearer, we got to grips. We worked a lot closer with NERSA, and I think we decided in June last year to deal with NERSA directly. And I think it's been a good road that we've walked with NERSA over the past sort of 8 or 9 months, where they've guided us through the process, I think with assistance from Minister Mantashe, who's also encouraging us to progress this. And we're very pleased with the outcome on last Friday's or last Thursday's meeting.
So we know how vital foreign investments are to our economic growth, but is it reasonable to expect foreign investors to put money into renewable energy projects when approvals take years? So has the process now been ironed out, do you think?
I certainly believe it's been ironed out, it's been smoothed out. Hopefully the work we've done with NERSA over the past 8 or 9 months, I think has created a clear path for approvals. And I think we've had a lot of support from the national, from Eskom as well, to make sure they recognise the need for this. And I think NERSA's played a facilitating role with us to make sure that we can get to this point.
Industries, and especially mines, need to look at being greener and reducing their carbon emissions. What impact will this solar plant have on Goldfields South Deep mine's carbon emissions?
So currently we envisage about 500 kilotons of carbon emissions. The implementation of this project will take 100,000 tons of carbon out of our emissions down to 400,000 tons. So it's a 20% dent in our carbon emissions, and something that's obviously aligned with our long-term climate change goals at Goldfields, and a first big step in the right direction. I think from a group perspective, we're running at 3% renewables at the end of last year. The implementation of this project will take the group's renewables from 3 to 11%, so a fairly significant dent in reducing carbon emissions and in line with our climate change goals.
Are you also expecting to see an impact on productivity, given that you'll no longer be so reliant on Eskom?
Obviously, that's a big upside for us, that we don't, we'll be less impacted on by interruptions through load curtailment. We do work well with Eskom. They do give us advance warning, and currently the South Deep mine isn't running at full capacity, so we're not as impacted as operations that are running at full capacity. We're in build-up mode. We are able to shift load during periods, but certainly as we ramp up, a steady supply of power is critical to ensuring productivity and getting value out of the asset.
And lastly, before I let you go, do you think we need any changes in legislation to ensure further growth in this field?
I certainly believe there's opportunity for further deregulation. The Eskom CEO has talked about a few weeks ago about limiting up to 50 megawatts. I think that would be some welcome relief, and I think we need to look at ways how operations with multiple sites are able to distribute from using scale to build one decent sized solar plant and distribute to various operations through the grid.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. That was Martin Preece from Goldfields in SA.